Hi everyone, this is EXO Podcast, episode 2. It's Jay and
It's Lane.
hi guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
uh, so this is episode 2 finally. Just FYI, we recorded episode 2 like a week ago,
Yes.
and we had file corruption. So this is our second
Mhm.
attempt at episode 2. Hopefully, um, nothing goes wrong with this and you all get to hear this.
Yes.
um, and for today's podcast, we're gonna go through a few things. Well, number one, the things we had already promised for episode 1. So we'll go over self portrait again, a Borborgan featuring Baekhyun, Leo, Raiden and Chanyeol featuring Lehigh and Changmo, yours. And we're gonna have just a little brief discussion about XOSC, which is gonna be our focus for episode 3. Because we're gonna record that after release of XOSC's new album, 1 Billion Views. Kai Solo, which is very recent breaking news. Yay!
Yes.
And
Exciting.
mini conversation about Lit the Present or Lit Present, which is Lay's part 2 of Lit, which is also coming out soon, so we're excited. So I guess let's start off with self portrait. I'm gonna let you start the lead again today, Lynn, because that's how we started last time, and I know you have notes prepared for this.
So, in this episode of EXO Podcast, we are going to talk about Self Portrait album, Suho's um, uh, Suho's album. It's his debut as a soloist, and he released his first album, Self Portrait. He gave us with a beautiful album before he's enlisted in the military. So, as many of you guys know, that he is serving, well, he's doing his military service as of now. So, before that, he gave us a beautiful album called Self Portrait. Uh, First of all, we have it's a album with 6 tracks. Wait, 5.
Is it 5? Hold on. I'm opening my Spotify because I've lost track
It's
of
5.
this now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 5? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, guys. It's late night.
Yes. We're recording this late at night
Yes.
because this is the optimal time, and it's literally the day before Independence Day, and we are trying to
Yes.
get this done for you guys again.
Yeah. So if you hear some like noises, like booms in the back, it's people are starting to celebrate, and there's fireworks all over the
No,
neighborhood. So
it's 6, Lynn. It's six tracks.
okay, 6. Yeah.
Yes.
I had it counted, but I missed the 6. Okay. Yeah. So it's 6 tracks. The title track it's Let's Love, which is in Korean means 사랑하자.
Mm-hmm.
We all know what 사랑하자 means. It's a very powerful phrase between EXO and EXO-L. This is a phrase that Suho always use to give us that energy, to give EXO members and EXO-Ls that energy and that bond that we have to each other, and that it's never gonna break. So he decided to call his title track 사랑하자, which I think is so meaningful, and it couldn't be a better title track for this album. So this song it's in general the whole album. It's like a kind of like rock, has a rock, modern rock, but or ballad rock sound, and I feel like Saranghaja or Let's Love. Um, it's a perfect example on what you're gonna see in this album. Not because it's similar, but you starting with the you started with this sound of uh, ballad rock, but at the same time, it's not too slow. It's more like it has more energy. So it introduces you with this song. In my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, Let's Love is a beautiful, beautiful song.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's talk about that he participated in the lyrics for
Mm-hmm.
all, like most of these songs in this album. So, uh, uh, just that it's amazing. I love how this song flows with the
Mm-hmm.
lyrics, with all the sounds, like the instrumentals, the background music. It flows so nice, so well, and his voice suits this song so good. Also, the MV, it's so aesthetic. I love it. Um, it's it's very Suho. Um, I'm happy that I'm able to hear more of his vocals, and we are able to hear his beautiful, sweet voice that not many people know, but he is a main vocalist. So I'm happy that in this song we can hear those like falsettos and that sweet voice, and in some of the other songs that I'm gonna talk about later, he you can even hear a low register on his voice, so which is so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sarakaja, it's a beautiful, beautiful song. I love this song. It flows so well. Since I heard the teasers were like, yes, this is gonna be a bop. It's a song. It's a beautiful song. Then we have O2. O2, it's in my opinion a very dreamy song. At first, it was one
Mm-hmm.
of my favorite songs. When I first listened to this album, it was on my top 3, I think,
Yeah, it was.
favorite
Yeah,
song.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, we all like were saying like how we love O2. Um it was like, yes, this is a great song, and it's
Mm-hmm.
still like a great song. It just it it feels like dreamy. It feels like you're just in a different world when you listen
Mm-hmm.
to this song. And I love it because the what he wants us to feel in this song is exactly the same thing I felt when I listened to it. Even even before I read his message, because he wrote a message um for these songs, for each of the songs. And when he mentioned that he wants to deliver that kind of feeling of like when you're in love, but at the same time it's like you're like kind of like floating in the ocean, and you feel kind of like, or in the clouds, something like that. And that's how I feel when I listen to this song. And he made a great job uh, delivering that feeling towards this song. Um, then we have Made in You. Wow, Made in You. It's my it's one of my favorite songs of the album. It has been dedicated to XOL. I love the beginning of the song. Since the beginning, it gives me that vibe of like, yes, he is he is talking to us. He is talking to EXO-Ls. It's a very like kind of like a very personal message
Mm-hmm.
that he is delivering to us, and it has a really nice chorus, like really nice. It it's a beautiful song.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then we have Starry Night. It was one of my favorites too. At first, when I first listened to this album, it's a ballad rock. Um, Suho says that it is a continue from Curtain, one of his station SM station songs that he
Mm-hmm.
released like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Very good song. I highly recommend it too. Um, so this song is kind of like the second part or like continue of that song, and it's it the beginning, all the instrumentals, it's so beautiful, and then when you hear his voice, his
Mm-hmm.
sweet voice, it's just amazing. I love it. Um, then we have Self Portrait. Well, Self Portrait. it it's a beautiful song. So I'm gonna say it right away. Self Portrait is my favorite song of this whole album. It's like my wholly favorite song.
Mm-hmm.
I have been listening to this song like non-stop since this album came out.
I remember you said it's like your anthem.
It is like my anthem. Yes, I told Gabe last time like this is gonna be in my like highlights of the year, like my on Spotify. Like, what was the song that you listened to the most? I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah, we said yes, you're right. Spotify wrap up, like number one
Yeah,
song, Starry Night.
that
it's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be my
it's gonna be Self
yeah.
Portrait by Suho. That's right.
Yeah, it's gonna be Self Portrait by Suho for sure. At the beginning, it was like when I first listened to this song, it of course I really like it, but it wasn't like for some reason it just grew up, but it grew up in a in a like in a drastic or dramatic way on me. And when it hit that part where it says there's no meaning without you, that part hit. And that part hit so hard. And I really like his voice in that part. Like this whole album, like I'm gonna say it. I know it sounds repetitive about his voice, but I'm a fan of Suho's voice or Suho's vocal since forever.
Mhm.
And listen to this album and listen to what he can do with his voice. It's it's like a gift to me, or it's like a gift for all of us. So I'm just so proud of him.
Mhm.
Listen to, and with this song he reaches out that feeling. He really touches a lot of emotions in all of us. You don't have to be an XOL to just to feel this song, to feel what these music is all about. You can just be a random person and listen to this album, and you will feel something. I guarantee you that.
Mhm.
So yeah, Self Betrayed is like my song. Um especially I guess like each song, it's um has been created or it's intended to make you feel certain way or kind of like targeting your feelings. So it depends on how you feel or the mood of the day. Probably you'll be like, yes, like this is the song that I want to listen to today. But Self Portrait is gonna be like my everyday song. And then we have For You, which is a uh, duet with Yuna,
Mhm.
and it's an acoustic version of this song. Yuna, and she is a pianist and she has a beautiful voice. I didn't know much about her before this,
Mm-hmm.
but I heard that she has been making this music for years with this where she plays the piano, and all her music, it's like it sounds like, it always has to have this kind of piano melody.
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning we can hear that, and the harmony, her voice, it's so beautiful, and then the harmony with Suho's voice, it was perfect. This song is very, it touched your heart also. So I I think it's the perfect combination, like their voices, like they
Yeah.
just like compelled together
Mm-hmm.
pretty well. Overall, this album, I said it before, but I'm gonna say it, has, I think it's like one of my favorite albums of like, I don't know if like K-pop or like music overall. That that ain't like that big this album has been to me, and I'm surprised, not because I was like, not because I doubt like what Suho is capable to give us, but I'm surprised because this is the first time after 15 years that he gets to shine, not only as a EXO member but as an artist. As you guys might know, that he has been training for the longest, and he has been in this industry for so long, and I'm so proud that after all this time he gets to shine, and he was able to give us this beautiful album with beautiful music, where he took the time to compose, to try to deliver the right message, to try to like connect with the fans, and also with not just the fans, with people that just like music in general, and that like to feel the music. So
Mm-hmm.
I really, really, really appreciate that from him, from this album, and I am so, so proud of him. And this album is like my, I don't have the physical album yet because of like circumstances, but
Good old
I really,
that's
yes.
good old COVID just getting in the way of our
Yes,
albums coming to us.
yes. Yeah, we're waiting for our albums still. But if I had it, I don't know, I will have it on like a top shelf, like right there. It's kind of like, yes, yes, I will show it to everyone in my room or in my living room. Yeah,
Yep.
that's one of my favorite albums so far. So I'm so, so proud of him for have given us this beautiful album. Yeah.
I
So
agree.
how about you, Jay?
So for me, um, you know, going back to a little bit about just the album concepts, I really love
Mm-hmm.
how he kind of took all his world travels that he did in the past year and just
Mm-hmm.
kind of used his love for Van Gogh's self portrait
Oh
painting
yeah.
and
Yeah.
incorporated that into the album cover and concept himself. So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate the fact that, all those different images we see on the cover and the fact that it's four self-portrait images ties back to Van Gogh and his
Mm-hmm.
his love for the paintings themselves.
Yes.
So I thought that was really, really clever. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
also really love the fact that even his concept photo shoots and everything about it always goes back to EXO, and I appreciate the fact that he
Mm-hmm.
loves EXO so much that even though it seems silly, he still incorporates the fact that water, right, which is his power in EXO,
Yeah.
and it's still got water kind of lingering there. We
Mm-hmm.
have the mention of water in, of course, in it's just constantly a reminder of it, and we the color scheme is very kind of neutral and pastelly, which is really nice. I love the palette. It's such a nice soft spring palette. particularly because the album came out in spring, so it makes perfect sense. But the colors are just so beautiful. Um, and I really can't say anything wrong about it. I think he was very open-minded. Definitely made really good choices with the aesthetic of the album and what he wanted the final product to look like. And I think there's no denying just the beauty of itself when you see the album, particularly like the color schemes and the coordination of the concept, how everything kind of just fits together. I love it. Um, but aside from the concept, the album itself is fantastic. Um, I don't think I can sit here and tell you, and I'm gonna get ahead of myself, that any of the songs is my least favorite. I think the album itself is so well done, and everything kind of correlates and matches with each other. Uh, it just kind of flows very nicely together. Um, so I feel like there's nothing for me to say bad about the album. The album is great. The concept is great. The music's fantastic. I really appreciate that he incorporated his own personal taste in music. So I know you touched on the fact that it's a little bit kind of pop, rock, ballad rock, which really makes sense because he talks about how he's a very very big fan of Coldplay, and so I definitely feel like there's a Coldplay influence there. For me, the album itself, and particularly some of the more pop rock like songs, particularly O2, remind me a lot of Maroon 5, and we've had this discussion, of course. And so, Maroon 5 in particular, songs about Jane, which was their very first album, I feel like a lot of it kind of takes me back to that time period, and I really enjoy it. As far as songs on their own, O2 is still one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, still. Totally very good.
Yes, I love O2. I love the beat. I love how it sounds. It's so catchy. It's definitely rock, pop rock inspired, and I really enjoy that. I and even like his live sessions of it, it sounds so great live. I just can't say anything wrong about it. It's so good. Um, for Let's Love, Sarang Aja, it's the moment I saw the teasers and I heard the song teaser, and the moment I even saw the MV, I was like, oh, this is such a great song. It's number one, the phrase itself is so special to EXO and EXO. So yes, I agree. It's something I think is very significant to us as fans and is very significant to them as members. That there's no way that any EXO could legitimately listen to that song and hate it. There's something so special about using that as a title track. So, and just the flow of the song, it's beautiful. It's got a little bit of that ballady rock we're talking about, right? With a little bit of that pop rock mixed in, but it's so lovely, and his vocals really do shine in this album. His vocally, he's so solid. I feel like he really showcases what his voice can do and the control he has. And I feel like the 15 years of experience as an EXO member and as a trainee really show in this album. So I'm very, very proud of him and for what he's been able to do with this album. Made in You is really great too. Starry Night is fantastic. I enjoy that song a lot.
I like that one too.
I really, for those of you that don't know, I am such a sucker for the B-side ballad songs on every EXO. Literally every EXO B-side like, ballad songs are my favorite. And this is no exception. Like Starry Night is one of my favorite songs from this album. It's so good. His vocals really shine. It's soft and touching, and it's like I just want to live in that song. Live in the song. Self Portrait is one of my favorites. The first go around when I listened to it, I as partial to the song like the first time I heard the whole album run through. But the more I heard the song, the more I realized just how much I liked Self Portrait.
Yeah.
And as I kept kind of listening to the album, I was like, oh my god, I really love this song. So it was one of those songs that really grew on me, and it was like, yeah, I love this song. So I can see why for you that song is so special.
Yes.
It's one of those songs where when you first hear it, you're like, it's good, and then
it's good, yeah.
Second time you hear it, you're like, oh, it's really good. Third time around, it's like, oh, this is catchy. You know, especially the chorus. The chorus is so catchy. I can't imagine anybody sitting down and listening to the song and not being like, oh, I love the chorus. Like the chorus is so good. And then of course we get to For You Now with Yunhan. It's a really beautiful song. Their voices do really match each other really well. I enjoy it. I feel like it's a really good showing of both of their vocals. I also didn't know much about her, so this was like a first time for me to really properly listen to her. So it was a very pleasant surprise to hear it and just how well their vocals kind of went together. So I really enjoy the song as well. Honestly, I can't say anything bad about any song. Like Made in You is such a special song too. He wrote it thinking of XOL. It's like what can I say about this album that's bad? Literally nothing. I cannot say anything bad about this album. And I don't think I could ever say anything bad about any album EXO or them as solo members or even subunits have put out. Everything is always so solid. This album though, it might be one of my absolute favorites when it comes to just how his vocals shine in the concept. I think it may be one of my tops. I mean, it's not like they're all like. I like how I say it's one of my top solo albums, but it's like not that many of them have gone solo to begin.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so well done. Yeah, it's so well done that
it is.
Just the full concept and conceptualization of the album is so fantastic that maybe for this year, this may be one of my favorite albums put out.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot happening. I mean,
there's more coming.
Yeah, more coming. So, as far as for me, like my top three songs, putting Sarangaja aside because that's the title track. Me, it's O2. It's Self Portrait, and then it's Starry Night. Like those are like my top three. Everything else is it's just fantastic. I'm not even gonna rate everything. I'm just saying like top three. Like I by top three I mean the top three that I would put like maybe a repeat on immediately after I've heard it just because I want to hear it again. But the songs themselves are also good that I can I when I play this album I just repeat the album from beginning to end. So I mean I can't really say that's true. So what about you?
Yeah, so my top three, it's the same thing. I don't have a least favorite because since the first time I heard this album, my taste kind of like, not my taste, but it depends on how I feel, kind of like change. But for sure, Self Portrait is my number one. Then in number two, we have Made in You. That's my second. And my third will be, let's see, I put Sarang Kaja, but let's put that one on the side. I will say O2. Yeah, O2.
Still in the top three.
Yeah, those are my top. Yeah, so basically, yeah, the same, right?
Almost the same. I mean, Made in You is the only difference, but like that song's fantastic too. So I can't blame you for that top three. I mean, honestly, there's no bad songs. There's all those
no bad songs.
No bad songs. The song. I mean, we literally said this about Delight and Lit. Like, there's no bad songs. It's all about preference, right? Personal taste.
Yeah.
But the album itself for Suho is so great. Like, it's just beautiful. There's no other words for that.
Yeah, the other ones like Starry Night, like I say, was one of my top favorites at the beginning. And then For You Now, and yeah, those and O2
They're good. They're all
were
everything's good. Like there's
yes.
nothing. I just
They're just they're good. Like they're amazing songs,
yeah
and I value them. I don't. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just
yeah.
like I think I don't know. It's just a good
It,
album. I just have
it's
those
just
three. Yeah.
yeah. It's just personal preference,
Yeah.
and we're just gonna do top three because we know the whole entire album is fantastic. So
Yeah, and things can change because fun fact, last episode we were talking about Baekhyun's The Light album, right? And I
Mhm.
remember rating Underwater, not
Lower.
like yeah
Yes.
lower,
Yeah.
but some reason like I listened to this past few days and I'm like I like this song, and
Um.
so
Yeah. Same. Well, I mean, it changes, right? It's like
yeah
it depends on our mood. Like,
yeah
um, for me, my top three for Delight is still the same, but I feel like the entire album, even the songs that maybe I didn't enjoy as much the first kind
hmm
of few go arounds have grown on me. So, sometimes it's just some songs take a little longer to grow on you.
yeah
That's all it is. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah
Just certain little things may not be like the first thing that catch you. Because
yes
I feel like it's all about first impressions sometimes with songs.
yes
So the very first time you hear it, you're like, "Ooh, I like that." But then sometimes you'll keep hearing a song, and you're like,
hmm
"Ooh, I really like that." And then you might keep hearing a song, and you're like, "I like it, but not as much as I liked it a couple
hmm
weeks ago." And sometimes it is your mood or
It is
what you
your
want to listen to.
mood, yeah.
Because I mean, listen, I have a full on like EXO playlist on my Spotify, and I love every single EXO song. But there
hmm
are just days when there's a song that will pop up, and I'm like, I kind of don't want to listen to that right
Yeah,
now.
right
But it's not
now.
that I don't like it; I just don't want to listen to it right now. So it's this,
Exactly.
yeah, it's the same with an album. Like you listen to it, and little by little, you learn that this other song you really liked that you didn't think
Yeah.
you liked before, or you didn't like as much. I mean, music is all about your mood, your
Yes.
atmosphere you're in. That's what makes music music.
Yes.
Um, so
True.
yeah. So I mean, and now that we're talking about Baekhyun, I mean, we might as well segue ourselves over to
Yes.
BOL4 featuring Baekhyun, Leo. What I love that
Yes.
song. It's so fun. It's so cute. The music video is fantastic. Um, her voice, I mentioned this in our previous attempt to recording this episode, but I feel like BOL4's voice is very unique.
hmm
It's beautiful, but it has this very unique undertone that I hear. This unique tone that you don't always hear in singers, particularly if
hmm
they're an idol, and so I really really enjoy it, and her voice with Baekhyun sounds really really good. I really like how they sound together. I love how the melody kind of plays out through the song. The music video concept of her being a cat is so adorable. She's very cute. And I know that Baekhyun couldn't be in the music video, obviously, because of everything happening in the world, but
hmm
um, the the way they kind of segue his voice into the song is really adorable. Everything works for me. I appreciate the fact that this is also someone that Pekin wanted to work with for a really long time, and he mentioned
Yeah, you mentioned that.
previously he mentioned he wanted to work with Borborgan.
hmm
So this is like a really good opportunity for him to finally sing with someone that he's wanted to sing with, and I love the fact that they sound so good together. So I feel like he must have been so satisfied, like to hear the song and be like, yes, this is exactly what I pictured when I wanted to sing with Borborgan, like. So I hope
hmm
that that happened for him, and when he heard it, because I do think it's a beautiful song. It's so reflective of spring, kind of segueing
Yes.
into summer. It's a beautiful song, and I enjoy it, and I love to sing along to that song whenever it comes on my playlist. It's a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. I agree. This song makes me so happy.
Mhm.
Every time I listen to it, it just makes me happy. If I
It's like
wanna
automatic smile on your face, right? Yeah.
yes, yes. Like it just makes me happy. and it kind of like lights up my mood, and
Mm-hmm.
also it makes me like right now, like in this situation that we are going through, many of us are still inside, staying inside in our house. But this song, it just makes me like go and get my bike and go for a run and go for a bike.
Right? I
Yeah,
feel like
run. Yeah.
this is the kind of song that you want to play, and if you have like one of those nice windows where you could sit next to it
Oh,
with like a
true.
book and like read at the sun. I feel like
Yeah.
this is what I picture when I hear the song, just this beautiful kind of picture of someone sitting next to a window, open window, with the
Yeah.
sun coming in, with a book, and then like in a nice like cute little dress or like
Yes.
outfit. Yeah, that's what my head pictures automatically when I hear the song. It's just this
Yeah.
cute kind of summery, springy vibe. I love it. Yeah, I
And
agree.
it's well done. It's just not like, like
Yeah.
it's there's so many songs that you will say like, oh yeah, they're very happy and cute and nice. But I feel like this song is so well done. It's so catchy.
Mhm.
I think you mentioned that yes, I'm agree that you will get this song right away. You will learn it in like 2 seconds
Oh yeah.
after the
I
first
mean,
listen to.
yeah. I've said this to me like um the catchiest bit is like when she's in that first line, right? And she's like,
Mm.
and she gets to that part where she's like, normal, normal. I'm like, yep, I'm
Ah,
there.
yes.
Like it
Yes.
just instantly you're like, yep. And then the fact that when his part of the song kicks in too, he uses that same phrasing. I think it makes it really catchy for someone. So I appreciate the fact that it's very much like kind of a phonetic thing. So I
Mm.
I think it sounds really great. I have nothing bad to say about this song. It's such a
It's a
beautiful song.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful song. Like anybody can listen to it and you'll feel the vibe.
Yeah.
And with
Yeah.
their voices compiling together, it's like it sounds so beautiful. It sounds so refreshing.
Yeah,
Perfect
sometimes,
summer.
especially
Mhm.
like when because we're talking about K-pop, and
Mhm.
I feel like people who don't know K-pop sometimes in their minds they picture maybe one specific group or one particular song. Um, so I really enjoy sometimes when we have like these one-off songs where we have our our EXO members featured in just this other artist song, and we get to hear all these different vibes and tones, and
Mhm.
because sometimes I feel like people really do think K-pop is just this one kind of sound, and it's really not. And so when you hear a song
Mhm.
like Leo, right, with BOL4, it's like it's a different tone, and it's the same for any song. I feel like um, people tend to kind of generalize a genre of music because of maybe one particular group that is more famous than another.
Yeah.
So these kind of introductions to K-pop through the members you like and through the group you like to different songs is really beautiful,
Mhm.
particularly when the styles are different, right? So, because we kind of touched a little bit on this in episode one, which was we kind of mentioned how EXO's always changing, like no album is the same.
It's the same.
Yeah, the
No.
music is
Yeah.
always a little different. So
Mhm.
I would never say EXO is this particular kind of music, right? Because
No.
every album has been different. So this moments where we have the members who then are featured in a different song by another artist kind of give us these same kind of sounds. So we get to hear them in a different context with a different singer. I mean, it's it's just a way for us to kind of listen and admire other artists who sometimes we might not know because there's so many just wonderful artists that sometimes we don't know about, and this kind of
Yes.
gives us that chance as fans or who are part of one particular fandom who to for us to listen to other people and to hear how they sound and to hear their voices, because I remember you mentioned that you didn't know who Wolverine was, so this for you was
Yeah, I
like,
did it.
oh, this is who BOL4 is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always fun, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds. It's like refreshing to hear another voice, another type of music, another type of sounds. Like I know, like Baekhyun has this particular. After his second album, we all know that he has this particular. He has chosen his particular style of
He loves
music.
R&B. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Um, with also with a little bit of uh like poppy and that type of also music. Like he always like to incorporate it in. And this song, like the Leo with Bubblegum, it's also very Baekhyun, even though it's not.
yeah.
Um, in his recent albums, like it doesn't stand up on his recent album, but let's. The reason why I say this is because it reminds me of like "Take You Home,"
Yeah, yeah.
which is this SM Station song that with Baekhyun that he releases like a couple of years ago also,
Mhm.
and it's very similar, very refreshing, very catchy, very. It sounds so um I don't know. It sounds so like happy and it makes
Mhm.
like it sounds like very spring summer and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it has this kind of like clean vibe to me.
Mhm.
So it's very similar. So he has these. So he's going back to his roots of this type of music,
Yeah.
this type of genre. Um, that it suits him. It suits him perfectly,
It does.
even
Yes.
though he has been going towards like R&B a little bit more. But this is also what he can do. It's just what tells us about every EXO member. Every
Mhm.
EXO member can go and do anything because they're so talented and they can go and do like they can go like Baekhyun can rap. We haven't heard him rapping. The same thing as Chen can rap. Um, Chanyeol can sing. Not he's not only a rapper, which we're
Mhm.
gonna talk about that later, but all these like amazing talents that they have. So it just proves us that they can do anything. They can feature in any song with any other artist, and that's so nice because it's so
Mhm.
refreshing, and it makes us fans feeling more like I don't know. It gives us like these kind of like sweet taste of like yeah, I'm proud of who I stand because it can do a lot of things and the outcomes will be very positive, very good. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I kind of, we're kind of talking a little bit about how, um, right, we get exposed to different artists, and we're gonna segue into Chanyeol right now,
Hmm.
and how he's featured with, he's done something with Raiden,
Yeah.
and but I also want to just lightly touch on it, although we're gonna focus on yours, right, which is Raiden and Chanyeol featuring Ihai and Changmo.
Hmm.
He also had the release of Anbu, right, with Lee Sung Hee, and she's a senior, right,
Yes.
artist. So I mean, this is someone who definitely, as Western fans, we have never been exposed to,
Hmm.
and so, like I said, these are the kind of moments where we get to meet all these artists who we don't know
Hmm.
about as fans, and we get to enjoy it, and we get to
Hmm.
listen to these combinations, which maybe we never thought would happen. Lee Sung Hee is a much more senior
Yes.
um, performer and has a very particular style, but she did this with Chanyeol, and it's a really beautiful song. So it's that kind of thing where the unexpected happens, and it's really really gratifying to also kind of see our EXO members grow in
Hmm.
collaborations, and to not only just grow but to get recognition from senior
Yes.
artists, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so important um, for them to have that recognition as well, because it kind of shows that yes, they're idols, but they're also artists, and a, an idol isn't limited to just being an idol, which so many people sometimes have this preconception, and we
Mm-hmm.
that an idol can only do one thing, and no, that's not how it is. So, um, you know, it's such a beautiful thing to see, and as fans, we get to kind of really live in these moments. So it's
Yeah.
great. I enjoy it, and now we're gonna just kind of move our way into Raiden and Chanyeol, and that yours is a great song. Like that song,
Yes.
the instant I heard it, I was like, yes, I'm into this song. I love how it sounds. Ihai's voice is so beautiful,
Beautiful.
and she sounds fantastic with Chanyeol. Uh, with Chanyeol, like there's this really beautiful tones they get, because Chanyeol, even when he raps or when he sings, he has
Mm-hmm.
a kind of a little bit of a lower tone,
Yes.
um, than the other EXO members, because we have Baekhyun and Chen, and Suho, and they are a little bit in the higher range. Same thing with like
Mm-hmm.
Chumin and
Mm,
Ling. So
yeah.
the ranges are a little
Yeah.
higher. So it's always nice to hear them when they go low. So, but Chanyeol's already kind of have has this kind of low tone, because
Mm-hmm.
but it's such a beautiful singing voice when he actually uses it. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes a lot of newer fans or people who've never heard EXO before and who've only seen him rap are very
Yeah.
surprised to see him sing.
Mm-hmm.
And so this song really kind of showcases both. And his voice blends so nice with Highs, and it's such a nice song. It's very summer. This song to me screams summer. It's fun. It's got this catchy chorus that anybody is going to enjoy if they listen to
Mm-hmm.
it. Raiden's done a really fantastic job with this song, um,
Yes.
and I always get this, particularly at the end, I get this full on Daft Punk vibe, right? Because of the
Mm-hmm.
very automated kind of electronic voices that kind of replay
Mm-hmm.
the chorus. Um, it's so good. And then Changmo comes in and he does his rap, and Changmo's so popular in Korea right now, and he's so talented. And so it's really nice to hear him on here as well. And it's a beautiful compliment to Chanyeol's
I really like
rapping.
his rap. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Chanyeol's rapping
Mm-hmm.
is already good, and then you add on Changmo, who's a beautiful compliment because their tones
Mm-hmm.
are a little similar. So
Very similar. Yes.
you have
Mm-hmm.
a similar kind of tone that maybe if you didn't already know Chanyeol's voice, you'd be like, is this Chanyeol? And you're like, no, it's not Chanyeol. It's
Yes.
not cool. Um, but it's a really nice compliment, and he's a really fantastic rapper. So it all kind of just seamlessly works very well together. So I
Mm-hmm.
think if you haven't heard yours, you must be living under a rock because it's such a good song.
Yes, I agree. Like this is a it's a bop. The first
It
time
is.
I heard it,
It is a.
um, I was like, yes, this is a. It has this vibe,
Mhm.
like such a good vibe. Like you say, you describe it. It has this like funky, sound in it's it's like it's really um because it kind of suits Chanyeol's a lot.
Mhm.
His style. But I'm so happy that I'm able to hear his voice in this, his like actually singing voice in this song, and not just rapping. Because I personally I am a fan. Like I know I will say this from every ex member, I guess, but no, for real, I'm a fan of Chanjel's voice singing. Like since I started like standing EXO. back in 2015, or I don't even know what year was it. uh, I noticed it Chanyeol's voice right away. I did notice his voice, and I was like, why he doesn't sing more often? Why he keeps, like,
Yeah.
why they keep neglecting his singing? But no, like, I'm so happy that I'm able to hear his voice
Hmm.
singing, because his voice and Lehigh, it's beautiful, a beautiful combination.
It is a beautiful
We
comment.
have, yeah, we have seen in his. I feel like he does perfect harmonize with many singers and many voices. I think that's why, um as we have heard him before doing this kind of like harmonizations with other
Yeah.
in other songs.
I mean, I would
One
I would
example, yeah,
Punch, right? When he sings with
yes,
Punch.
Punch is one of those.
Yeah. He done 2 songs with her already, and
Yes,
both are really, really good.
great
So
songs. Yeah.
yes. I mean, I I I know it's a fandom, it's a little bit of a fandom joke, right? But honestly, EXO are OST kings.
Oh, it's
Like
the Kings.
it
Yes.
OST kings, like they are always in OSTs, and there's a reason for that, and it's that versatility that they have of just
Mhm.
kind of seamlessly kind of coming in and matching up with another artist and doing this collaboration, and it works so well. And even in solo songs too, right? Like, um, so many OST songs at this point that I've completely lost count, and they're
Oh
all
yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, all of them.
Fantastic songs.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Changeol has these very unique, and there's a reason why they look for him, like
yeah.
artists or whoever, like singers, look for him
I
to
love Chanyeol's singing voice,
sing
and
with
I
them.
love his rapping, and um,
Hmm.
just the way Chanyeol raps to me is so beautiful, because it's not as it's not what you would think, right? Like, this kind of aggressive rapping style is not him. But
No.
when it does
Hmm.
happen, because he does sometimes do it, he's so good. Like, he's so seamless with it, and I
It
really
flows with the
yes,
music. I
yes.
like that it flows. His rapping flows. It's not like all over the place.
Mhm.
Um, it might be, I don't know, people prefer it that way. I personally prefer something that it flows. Like,
Same, same.
and if it's his rapping flows with the music, with the melody, and it's so nice, like, I like that. It goes well with the music. Yes, I really like it. And also, when he sings,
Yeah.
his voice, his lower register is like amazing. It's beautiful. It goes with like any voices.
Mhm.
We had heard this and seen it before in EXO with Universe
Mhm.
song,
Mhm.
where he does the harmony with Suho and Baekhyun.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
You
So
know,
we know that.
harmonization. Yeah, yeah. EXO harmonization is peak vocals. Like,
Oh yeah.
they
Oh,
harmonize so well all the time. It's so fantastic to listen to.
yeah. There's a reason why they came in together into
Yeah.
this group, because
Yeah.
their voices are just, amazing. There's
Yes.
no wrong in that group. I'm sorry,
No.
but
No.
yeah.
Yeah. Everybody has great vocals.
Yes, there's no wrong. Everybody has their own color, their own like unique
Mhm.
feature in their voice, but when they come together, that's EXO.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful music.
Beautiful music. So yeah, like this song. Also, I've been listening to it. I feel like every morning I have to listen to this song, and also Baekhyun's like with Bubblegum Leo songs, because it kind of like it. I need that. Like, I
Yeah.
need it to like start my day off.
Yeah. 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 No,
Yes,
it's
like I
fantastic. Yeah.
recommend this song a
Yes.
lot.
Yes. If you have not listened to Leo, by BOL4 featuring Baekhyun, and yours with Raiden and Chanyeol featuring Ihai and Changmo, you gotta go to YouTube or Spotify or iTunes or whatever you're using and just listen to it, because they're such great songs.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. pretty good songs.
Yeah, and we're gonna lightly touch on another topic as well. So, before we kick off onto that, though, I feel like I need to say that our next episode that we're gonna record is going to be solely focused on EXO-SE because 1 billion views is coming.
Yay!
Yes, EXO-SE is back. Sechan is back. And so we will be recording that on the weekend after release. Yes. So expect that following weekend. So literally 2 weeks away. And you know, so let's kind of jump into this and let's start off with EXO-SE and you know, finally Merchbot came out with the kind of like the calendar right for what's going to be happening with EXO-SE. So that was exciting because we literally had, it felt like we'd been waiting for weeks after they told us that they were coming. So we have our track list now, which is great. So we have track number 1 billion views.
Yeah, 1 billion views.
Track number 2, Say It.
Say It.
Track number 3 is Rodeo Station. Track number 4 is Telephone. Number 5, Jet Lag. Number 6, Fly Away. Number 7, Nothing. Number 8, On Me. And number 9 is instrumental version of 1 billion views. And we literally had this conversation like right before. I said, this is not a song, okay? I would not count this as track number 9. Like, I'd rather you give me a brand new song instead of the instrumental. But either way, it's EXO-SE's first full-length album, so we're very excited. This is a big deal. Like, this is their first full-length. They've only had one mini album, which, by the way, that mini album was fantastic. So now we're jumping back into it, and it seems like we are sticking with the neon / bright color theme we had from the first mini album. So I'm I kind of appreciate the fact that we have a similar aesthetic. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear the teaser.
It's similar, but it has like it's like touching some other like. Kind of like,
you know what, the
virtual, I don't know, 80s,
yes,
90s, I don't know.
Yes. It's kind of retro 80s.
Yes.
Like late 80s, early 90s.
90s, yes.
Where, you know, it's very video game concepty, right? Because we see a lot of the kind of, you know what it kind of reminds me of? A little bit of like Tron. The movie Tron. There's like these kind of like grid lines, which are in the movie. So it's very retro. I enjoy that. The color scheme is definitely very 90s. Neon colors, which similar to the first mini album. Those neon colors were very popular in the 90s.
That's like their signature.
Yes.
The neon colors so far.
Colors.
Right?
So, the concept is clearly going to be a little similar to the previous one as far as the color scheme goes. But I feel like maybe this time I'm hoping for the MV we're gonna see the same color scheme reflected on there, because for the mini album we didn't really see the same color scheme reflected, even though the songs were fantastic. So I'm kind of wondering if this time we're gonna see that color scheme reflected in the MV. But I mean, aside from that, we're getting apparently more than one music video. We are we've already started. Yeah, we started already with our teaser images, right? And we should be getting album details,
which are so
on the 6th.
Like, I'm loving them. I'm loving these teasers images so far.
Same.
I've seen a few of those. I don't know, I just like that playful character that they're playing in this teaser images. Like, I really like it. It's like, it's so 90s. I really like it. I'm liking it. Yeah.
So next thing coming up is gonna be album details. Thank God it's early this time around. We're getting a few teasers in the middle, but then we're getting MV
teaser
First,
So that's
first,
probably
no, we're getting first.
second.
We're getting first MV on the 9th for
Mhm.
nothing. Then we're getting a second MV on the 10th for On Me. We're getting the teaser for 1 billion views on the 11th. And then we'll be getting the actual full length album and music video on the 13th. So we are ready.
Mhm.
Pre-orders have started. I hope you're
Yes.
all pre-ordering because we are. Um, and we're definitely looking forward. We're hoping there is going to be more promotion for this album. I hope they're on some music shows. I hope that we get we get a few video fan signs and events going on. I'm really excited. It's their full length album. I'm hoping they really go all out for this.
They actually went live
I know
last
they did.
night,
They did. Yes, they
and
did.
they played
And they
the
spoiled.
song.
Yes,
I
they
I
did.
was like, no, I'm not gonna listen to this. I'm not gonna watch you because you are crazy.
You,
Why
you
you do
they
it?
were. I think they were drunk, and that's okay because they're grown
Yes.
men. um. So. We've jokingly said that we're starting off these podcasts tame, but at some point we're gonna do like EXO podcasts with alcohol because I would love
Yes.
I would love to see what conversations we would have when we have some booze in us and we start talking about EXO. And
In
and
order to XOS, you will do
and,
it drunk.
and yeah, oh, we should. You know what? You know what? Let's get some alcohol and next podcast we are doing this totally EXO SE style with some booze next to us drinking it and talk about EXO SE because they are too much fun and we cannot be sober while we do the next one. Okay, no.
That's really
We'll
fun.
we'll be semi sober. Little
We'll
alcohol.
be okay.
We'll be okay. We won't be drunk. We're going to have fun with it, and I'm really excited for the next podcast because I'm really excited about
Boy,
this. Yes, really
they're
excited.
probably regretting what they did last night. And then SM will be like, "Oh, okay, so you guys will have no promotion. Thank you so
That's it.
much.
You guys
That's it. You
you
got the
guys
promotion.
yeah,
You did."
that's it. You did your own promotion. We're not doing anything else. Like they literally just went on there and played so many tracks. I was like, what are you doing? and then
And they
I
were
got
singing along, like,
and
oh
I
no.
my favorite part of that Instagram live was Chanyeol going, shout out to SM. I was like, you did not, you're playing the tracks and you're gonna yell out, shout out to SM. I was like, oh my god.
Oh my god, they're my favorite. I swear. They're my
There's
favorite.
so much fun. Okay, and just speaking of lives, if you're listening to this podcast, and if you somehow manage to get these boys' number, please stop calling them. For the love of God. Like, they're trying to do live. They're, number one, how did you get their number? Number
Oh my
two,
god,
do you
yes.
know them? Like, stop calling in the middle of lives because you know they're awake. Like, leave them alone. Yes, they're famous. Yes, they're celebrities, but you are not entitled to calling them whenever you feel like because you were able to get their number. Just leave them alone. Like,
Yeah, just to like, do you think they're gonna be like, oh, this is the number one fan I have, so I'm gonna pay attention to her. Oh, she's cool because she's calling me. No,
you're
no,
weird. You're just
you
being
are weird,
you're
and
being
they're gonna
weird
hate you for
and
the rest of their life. Okay.
and it's stalkery. Just don't do it. Like don't call them. Don't
No.
follow them. Like don't any sesang behavior. If you have to ask yourself, is this sesang or stalkery behavior? It is.
Mhm.
Just don't
It
do
is,
it.
yeah.
Anytime you have to question your behavior around a celebrity because you think it might be crossing the line, it's crossing the line. Just don't do it. Don't give out their phone number. Don't sell it. Just leave them alone. Don't call them all the time. It's, I can't imagine just how frustrating it is to have hundreds of people call you that you don't know on your cell phone. As it is, when I get a random phone call from someone I don't know on my phone, I'm like, who the F is this? Like, and why are you calling me? How did you get my number? Like, it's just as weird for them. Don't do it.
Yes. Don't do
it.
it. You're not getting the right attention that you want.
No. And on to the next little mini conversation we're having. Kai solo confirmed. SM has confirmed. Kai will be having
breaking news.
Kai having his first solo project. I'm so excited for this. He deserves this so much. I am so pumped and hyped for this. I cannot wait for teasers to come out, for a confirmation of when we're going to be seeing it. We know it's going to be second half of the year. I'm ready for this. I kind of, like, I was thinking about this as the news broke last night, and I was like, I really hope that this is I want it to be so iconic because Kai is such an amazing dancer that a part of me kind of hopes it's very sexy and very Tame and esque, right? I mean, that kind of sex appeal. Like, I want to see that, but I don't know what kind of music it's gonna be.
We don't know.
No, we don't know, and that's the part that gets me really excited, which is what's he gonna do? Like, what is he gonna sing? I mean, we've heard some of his songs when we've watched, the concerts. His solo stuff. So that gives us like a little bit of an idea, but I mean, he could completely go in a different direction.
Exactly.
So I'm so hyped, but I'm hoping it's a little sexy because Kai is sexy.
We have to have a little bit of sexiness.
Kai is sexy. We both have had the pleasure of seeing Kai super up close, and I mean super up close. And that man, and that man glows. His beauty just radiates. He is the most glowingly beautiful man I have ever seen in my life. And
so beautiful.
So beautiful. And when he smiles, he glows even more.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to like sexiness. I want just a little bit.
Yeah. Can we have the MV be sexy and like everything? I'm ready for this, and I'm so excited. He's like the sweetest, kindest person in the world, and you don't know this. Oh my god, get to know Kai, because although he radiates and oozes sex appeal because he's the visual, he is so kind-hearted and so loving, so caring, and if you just watch him for longer than 10 minutes, you will know how kind-hearted and beautiful he is of a person, and he's had a difficult year, he suffered a very painful loss, and despite all that, he's continued to perform. He's never taken a break, like, for himself, aside from the moment he needed, and he deserves this so much, and I hope that every XOL and every fan is just really supportive, and I can't wait to see what's gonna happen, and I hope it's amazingly beautiful. And I don't know. I don't know.
Hoping for the most. I don't know. Like you say, he has given us like already like a couple of songs from his from the concerts, Confession and all that. But we don't know. He can take another direction. He could. I'm hoping. I'm still hoping. Part of me, that sexiness. Yes, I want some of that. But I also so happy that we're gonna finally like hear more of his voice, because I also, again, I am a fan. I'm a trash for his voice. I love his voice. I do.
He has a beautiful tone. He has a very rich, full tone. Yeah. So like when I hear his voice, the very first time I ever heard him on his own sing, I was very surprised because I didn't expect such a rich, full tone to come. And that was years ago. And so it's he has such a unique tone as well to his voice
He
because
does.
it's not a tone you normally hear like right off the bat. So I'm really excited to see what he does. So
Yes.
can't wait, can't wait.
I feel like he's been working on it because
Yeah.
the pictures that he posts on the bubble chat, he
Mhm.
had his hair color, he was blonde. So
Mhm.
I thought it was for probably Super M, but now that I'm
I'm
thinking
thinking,
about it,
yeah,
and
yeah, by
it's like
solo.
probably
Yeah,
something
it's for
he's
the
been working
solo.
on his
Yeah,
solo.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I think it's for solo. I'm excited either way. Uh,
Yes.
it's great. And then
We'll see what mini news we get.
I can't wait for the just a date. Just give us a confirmation date. That's all I'm waiting for. Um,
Yes.
I kind of joked about this, and I was on like, listen, this is the year that although EXO as a unit is not together, I feel
Mm.
just individual activities have blessed us so much.
Yes.
It's been phenomenal. Like as an XOL, like this is we're thriving right now. and
Yes,
then
we're
and then
being fed.
we're being very well fed, and then on top of that we have, like Baekhyun constantly on Twitter, and all the members have Bubble, and so if you subscribe, you're
Yeah.
gonna get messages from them, and they read your messages. It's really exciting things. I mean, it's all about money, but we willfully given here
We're
because I'm
giving
just
you.
like
We're
I'm
giving
just
you
like
from EXO-Ls.
I'm just like
We're the bank.
I'm like, here you go, SM. I'm your personal ATM. Please
Yes.
take your money.
Take my money. I
Take my
work
money.
for you.
Yes,
You got
yes,
me.
yeah.
They
And
know.
literally, like before we even started recording today, I was literally talking to Lynn about how I got my Delight Chemistry and Kino versions um already from South Korea, and I
Yes.
and I literally I managed to get all the photo cards I needed, and I filled up. Finally filled up my first photo card book, and that book, which I've had, I only got it maybe like 2 years ago because I had my photo cards, but they were just kind of everywhere, and so they weren't in like properly stored, but they were everywhere nicely kept, so everything's still in mint condition. But I finally finished filling it up with these, and I decided to count how many this photo book, like this, sorry, not photo book, this
For album?
photo little, not even, it's like PC album, this
Yeah.
PC album holds, and I found out that I own 297 official photo cards from just EXO, like no other group, because I don't purchase any other group or like I solely XOL. I do not
Yeah.
buy albums for anybody else.
Yeah,
And it was 297 official photo cards from albums and events and special and rare collections. And I was like, when did this happen? When did I buy 297 photo cards? How? I was
Wow.
I don't know, but uh we did the math, and that's at least worth like $2,000.
So there
Like
you go.
so
You have
like we
an
said,
example
there we
from
go.
an XOL. And
This is
that's like just one XOL.
one.
Imagine us, all of us.
All of us. Like I think if we all took the time to do math, I kind of jokingly say this, but honest to God, I think if we did the math and we counted all our albums, we counted all our merch, because we all buy like literally, Peck and Delight merchandise came out, and I've already bought it, so in pre-order, because it comes out at the end of July. Just literally, I feel like if we did the math on the amount we spend on the merchandise plus EMS fees, easily, I think every year we probably spend anywhere between hundreds to thousands of dollars on merchandise and albums.
That's
And
right.
yeah, honest to God. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being an XOL is not for the faint of heart or the. And honestly, we always say there's a joke, right, that we are always broke. The reason we're broke is because we spend it all on them. Like, no lie, SM, you found your personal ATM in us, and we complain up a storm, right? Sometimes because we're like, really, like you only gave us 3 days for pre-order, but there we are on the last day of pre-order,
Yes.
ordering whatever we need to order because we're like, nope, but we gotta order these versions.
Breaking records.
Yeah, we're like, wait, how many versions is there? Oh, there's 3.
Oh, yeah, sure.
How many photo cards? Oh, okay. So I need to buy at least this many to get all the photo cards? Yeah, that's us. Okay. We're literally those people.
Yes, that's EXO that have being characterized for being SM's entertainment ATM machine.
Yeah. It's true.
So, yeah. So we're going to be there for any EXO member, anything that they release this year. We say like, yeah, we don't have EXO as a whole group, but we're having a lot of content. Having a lot of content as a solo artist, and that's amazing. Like we are here for them. We're definitely supporting. Yeah. So solo Kai solo coming in.
We're ready.
Yeah, we're ready.
And then to add, okay, because last night, not only was it breaking news, Kai Solo, but we also had breaking news. Lit Part 2 is coming. Yes. Lit the Present. Yes, we're very excited. Lit the Present. We're ready for this. I can't wait. I know so far they've told us coming soon, and it's physical album is coming. So I am so ready for part 2 of this album. I'm ready for the physical album. I cannot wait to buy a copy.
That's all we know, right? So far.
All we know.
It's coming.
Coming soon.
We don't know how many tracks,
they love
nothing.
I love that they love to just kind of throw everything at us on the same day. It's how it always is. They're like, here, Kai Solo. Here, lay part 2. Have fun. We're like, yes.
So EXO-SC teasers and their lives. So.
Like, and before we even like, I'm so hyped for Lit the Present, but before I forget, congratulations, Baekhyun. Over 1 million copies sold. Oh
yes, we almost forgot about that. Oh my god! Finally, oh my god!
Congratulations! Now that makes him officially the first artist in 19 years to have
20 years. Yeah,
19 to 20 years, somewhere in there. Because I some articles said 19 years, some said 20. So about 2 decades, essentially.
Okay.
About 2 decades to sell over 1 million albums. First
solo artist.
Yes, first male solo artist in about 2 decades to sell. So, you know, EXO continues on the track record of bringing back the 1 million sales mark. So, congratulations to Baekhyun.
Yay! Congratulations.
So proud of him.
We are so proud.
He was so happy that day. His tweets were so cute. He was so happy. He's worked really hard. And so I'm really happy for him. And so that makes him officially alongside Lay, both having sold over 1 million copies of solo albums. For yes, for Baekhyun it's in South Korea, and for Lay it is in China. So very, very proud of our million sellers. So million sellers solo, million sellers group. So excited, and I can't wait to see how many more albums EXO-SC is gonna sell because everybody's so excited about it. So I'm ready. And when Kai comes out with that solo, I am sure the sales.
I want to see those numbers too. It's
gonna be great. So I'm hyped. I can't wait. I'm just give us the dates, please, for Kai and Lay. I'm just ready. Just take my money now. Take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
So excited about all what's happening with EXO.
Yes.
And yeah, we are looking forward to all this coming up.
Yep. So I mean, I guess that's it. I guess for You know that this has run for over an hour. Like, wow, this conversation today. But there was so much to catch up on. So, I mean, thank you for listening to us all the way till the end. If you're here, thank you. If you've made it this far, yeah, this is only episode 2, and we're like an hour plus in here. And thank you so much for listening to us and joining us. And we hope you're ready for episode 3, which is 2 weeks away, where we lose our minds over XOSC. And we drink a little alcohol while we do that. Because that's not the plan. We're going to have drinks here because you cannot talk about XOSC if we don't live like XOSC. And after yesterday's Instagram live, we're going to drink a little alcohol where we talk about them. Hopefully we don't say anything that we're not supposed to say. So
we'll try.
We'll try to keep it PG, okay? I'm sorry if anything happens ahead of time, but we'll keep it PG at least as much as we can, because we don't know how old some of you are. Like, maybe we should have a warning before that episode and be like, excuse me.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
have to be like 21 and older for this episode, please, or at least 18 and older, because there may be. Yeah, we may forget what we're saying.
Other countries.
Yeah, 18 and older. Just, no little kids maybe for the next episode. So if you're under the age of like 18, I don't know if you should be listening to us, because I don't know what's going to happen. So just a warning ahead of time. It'll be a rated R episode. I'm just saying. Potentially could be rated R, because I don't know what will happen. We might get really excited when we're talking about it and just, words come out. But
we'll be very excited about all this, so just enjoy with us.
yes, just enjoy with us.
Sorry if this podcast has been a little long, or a little kind of like I don't know, out of the blue. It's because it's the second time we recorded.
I know. So. We tried. Here's the thing. This is actually longer than our initial recording, because our initial recording didn't have like this kind of breaking news at the end, so it's like added on like an extra 20 minutes. So,
we had to talk about it.
Had to talk about it because it's 2 weeks before we get on here to do XOSC. So I mean, forgive us for the extended length of this particular podcast, but I'm really grateful to you. We're both really grateful to you if you've made it to the end of this. So, so I guess we will see you guys on the weekend after release of XOSC.
Can we remind them that we have social media platforms?
Oh, yes. We will remind you guys. So, if you're not following us on social media, we now have social media accounts for this podcast. So we are on Twitter. Hold on, give me a second, because I'm gonna just pull up all details so I don't miss anything. So we are on Twitter at EXO Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, also at EXO Podcast. You will be able to find us for this particular podcast on YouTube, also at EXO Podcast. We are also on Spotify and Apple/iTunes. Again, you can find us as EXO Podcast. And we're also on Buzzsprout, so if you want to do a direct download of this, we're all available on there as well as EXO Podcast. And if you have any comments, requests, something you want to specifically talk about, please hit us up on Twitter via a tweet, or you can also do it via our Curious Cat account, and you can find all available links on our Twitter or Instagram. We have a Linktree link there, and literally have all of our social media links on there, so make sure you go on there, click on it. If you're trying to find us on something, listen to us. But so follow us, let us know what you think. we're still kind of getting used to this, so
Yeah.
hopefully we're not boring you guys too much. But
Mm-hmm.
this is just us kind of just being excited and talking about EXO because it's fun.
Yeah.
So,
And if you are a baby EXO, you're trying to
yeah, and get to know
get
them.
to know them more.
So if
And
you are,
also, you can recommend it to friends.
yes, yes. Oh, if you're a
If you
baby
are.
XOL and maybe you have questions,
Yeah.
send us a question on CC, or if there's a
Mm-hmm.
topic you want us to talk about. I mean, Lynn's been a fan since for about 5 years now. I've been a fan since
Mm-hmm.
debut. So
Yeah.
we're old XOL.
We're
um,
there. Yeah, well, you are as
I'm in my
well.
30s. I'm literally in my 30s now. So I mean, I've been around way too long. I've been
We
around
have.
way too long. So I'm in my 30s. Lynn is in her late 20s. So we've been with the fandom for a really long time. We I've been with the fandom long enough that I still remember when we were called exotics. Okay, like that's what we called ourselves. So I mean, any questions you guys?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so just any questions you have, send them our way because we will talk about it if we know about it, and if we don't know about it, we'll look it up for you.
Look it up for you. Absolutely, yeah. We're here for that. We are here. I guess I say this in the last podcast, but we are here just to try to keep EXO's legacy alive. You know, they're not gone. They're still here. They're still around. They're doing a lot of stuff. So we are trying to keep that as a EXO fans, as a EXO,
Yeah.
keep that same energy as if they were back in 2015, 2014.
You know,
We're trying to do that here. So if you are new, like, and if you have questions, we'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you, so you
yes,
can get
yeah.
to know EXO.
Yeah, and I know this is, if you're a baby XL and you just joined the fandom this year, you're probably deprived of a lot of things because
Mhm.
that they're just not happening right now. So I mean, hit us up. Any questions you guys have, and if you've been with the fandom forever, I mean, just tell us what you guys want us to talk about. Is there a specific
Mhm.
topic you guys want us to talk about? A member,
Yeah,
an
yeah.
album? Do you guys want us to talk about some of the discography? Like, do you guys want us to go back and talk about
Mhm.
Crow or Overdose or
Wow.
just whatever?
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just tell us. I mean, we're we have everything, so we'll literally just tell you what we think. I mean,
Yeah.
just let us know. I mean, any topic. We're always going to try and touch base on as there is actual new stuff happening. So I mean,
Mhm.
you know, so maybe your topic might not come up right now in the immediate future with so much stuff
Mhm.
happening, but we will get to you. I promise we will talk about
Yeah.
anything you guys want us to talk about. We'll get to you,
Yes.
get to your requests. So
Yes.
thank you so much, you guys. For listening to us. We're about to really make this a full feature length, movie length podcast. So probably gonna end it here, but um, thank you so much for listening to us today. Thank you for tuning in for episode 2. And I guess we'll see you guys for episode 3, XOSC, 1 billion views.
Thanks for listening to us,
Thank
guys.
you. Have a good
Thanks.
one. All right. Bye.
Bye.